Hello everyone, this is Glenda Winkleman and welcome back to Creative Grandma. It's Stitch of the Week time and this week's stitch is number 251. It's called the Double Cross Lace Stitch. This pattern consists of two easy repeat rows. The first row is a simple single crochet row. The second row is double crochet with a triple crochet double cross stitch. Now it's called lace because when you work this stitch pattern, you want to kind of use a little bit bigger hook to keep those stitches loose so it has just a little bit of a lacy look to it. So as you look at these stitches here, you can see you just want a little bit of an opening, just a light airy feel. This is a wonderful pattern for spring and summer. This is my first sample. This is made with Red Heart Super Saver worsted weight yarn, and I used a size 10J 6mm hook for this sample, and this sample was made using white, light blue, honeydew, and Aruba Sea in blues and greens. Now for my second sample, I made just using basic white, and you can see the stitch pattern there as well. This just makes an excellent, just a really fast and easy afghan. If you need a gift in a hurry, this is the pattern you're going to want to use. So this is the solid white one. Now this is a multicolored yarn. This is Super Saver as well, and it's number 942, the Melonberry. And all these samples were made using worsted weight and a size 10J 6mm hook. So the multicolor, I don't think you see the pattern as well. Usually as you do in the white, the classic white, it really shows up that pattern. So this stitch pattern is a multiple of 7, and then when you get it as wide as you want, you add 4. So a multiple of 7 plus 4. So for our sample swatch today, we're going to need to chain 32. So grab your yarn. If you're using worsted weight yarn, I would suggest using a size 10J hook. If you're using a different type of yarn, if you're using lightweight yarn, I think I would probably use an I hook. So just test it out, see what you like in the texture of the stitch, as long as it stays lacy. You don't want this stitch pattern too tight. So I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm going to be using a worsted weight. I'm going to grab my hook, and then we'll get this stitch pattern started. So I already have my yarn tied around my hook, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver, and I'm using the color Cornmeal number 320. So to start this stitch, we need to start our chain. So I have my loop on my hook, yarn over the hook, and pull it through the loop. This is your first chain, and this does not count as a chain. Yarn over, pull it through that loop, that's 2. Yarn over, pull it through the loop, that's 3. Continue making your chain until you have a total of 32 chains, and I will meet you to start row 1. I have my chain with 32 chains made, and we're going to get ready to start row 1. We're going to skip this first chain, and we're going to insert our hook into that second chain from hook and work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain, yarn over the hook, and pull it through 2 loops. You just made your first single crochet. Insert your hook into that next chain, yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain, yarn over the hook, and pull it through 2 loops. You just made another single crochet. So for row 1, we're going to work 1 single crochet in each chain across to the end. So I'll show you 2 more times. Insert your hook into that next chain and work a single crochet. Insert your hook into the next chain and work a single crochet. That's all there is to row 1. Work across to the end, working 1 single crochet in each chain, and I will meet you at the end of row 1. I'm over at the end of row 1, and this is what your work should look like. You started by working a single crochet into the second chain from hook and 1 single crochet in each chain across. You should have a total of 31 single crochet in row 1. So now we're going to start row 2, which row 2 is the start of our repeat pattern. So rows 2 and 3 create this pattern. We're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 acts as the first stitch of row 2. We're going to turn our work, and again that beginning chain 3 acts as the first double crochet, so you skip this first stitch, and we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over the hook, you're going to skip this first stitch, and you're going to go into the second stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through the stitch, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops. You just worked your double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next stitch, and work a double crochet. Now we're going to start our double cross stitch, which is a combination of 2 triple stitches, and then you come back and work 2 more. The first double cross we'll make working behind the first 2 stitches, and then we alternate working in front and then behind. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to yarn over the hook twice, once and twice. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to work a triple into the 3rd stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops only, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull it through 2 loops. You just made your first triple crochet. We're going to yarn over twice around our hook. We're going to insert into that next stitch, and we're going to work another triple crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, yarn over your hook, pull it through 2 loops only, yarn over your hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over your hook, and pull it through 2 loops. So now we're going to work the crossover part. So for this part, we're going behind these 2 stitches. We're going to come behind, and then we're going to work in this first stitch, and then we're going to come back and work a second triple into this second stitch. So yarn over the hook twice, come back behind those triple crochet, and you're going to go into this first stitch that you skipped. Take your hook and go from front to back, and then just kind of turn your work so this is kind of leaning towards the front, and work your triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to come back behind these 2 stitches. So just come back and then take your hook and bring it to the front. Find that second stitch that you skipped, insert your hook, and work your triple crochet. This one, the first one, we worked behind, and this is what your stitch should look like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So because you already worked in these stitches here, you just pull your hook back from where your stitch ends, and you look to see what stitch was worked in last. It was this one here. So you just yarn over your hook, find that next stitch that was not worked in here, and work a double crochet. We need to work 2 more double crochet, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next stitch, and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into the next stitch, and work a double crochet. So basically we're working the double cross stitch, and then we're going to be working 3 double crochet in between each double cross stitch we make. So now we're getting ready to make our next double cross, but the next one, these back stitches will be worked in the front, going across the front of the stitch. So yarn over the hook twice. You're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2. You're going to insert your hook into that next stitch and work a triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to insert your hook into the very next stitch and you're going to work a triple crochet. The first half of your cross stitch is complete. So now we're going to come across the front. We're going to yarn over twice. We're going to come back across the front of those stitches and we're going to go clear over here to that first stitch that we skipped. You're going to insert from front to back and you're just going to work your triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. We're going to come back over. You're going to look for that next single crochet that we skipped, and when you're working this stitch you'll notice that this pulls over, so it's kind of hard to see that stitch. So what you do is go over 2 stitches, 1, 2, and look for that horizontal bar right here. It's right between that second stitch and this stitch that goes across. So you're just going to bring your hook down and you're going to go right underneath that horizontal bar right here, front to back, and work that triple crochet. So if you look, you'll see this one is angling towards the right and this one will angle towards the left. So now we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches to separate our double cross stitch. So yarn over the hook, look for that last stitch that was worked in, which is here. You don't count over here. You go clear over to your chain and look, this was the last stitch worked in, so you're going to work your double crochet in this stitch here, insert your hook, and work that double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next stitch, and work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next stitch, and work a double crochet, and that's 3. And that was the end of our repeat for our pattern. So I'm going to walk you through it one more time, and then that way you're doing it twice across this little sample piece. It's back, work behind the stitch, work 3 double crochet, and then work in front of that cross stitch and then 3 double crochet, and then we're just going to repeat back, 3 double crochet, and then in the front, and then 3 double crochet. So let's do it again. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to skip those next 2 single crochet, insert your hook into that next stitch, and work a triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice, insert it into that next stitch, and work a triple crochet. Now we're going to work 2 triple crochet behind these 2, and we're going in the first stitch and then work our second triple into the second stitch. So yarn over the hook twice, come back behind those stitches, bring your hook to the front, and then go from front to back in that first single crochet that you skipped. Kind of turn your work so it's like bent down a little. It's easier to work that triple, and work your triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to come back behind those same 2 triple, bring that hook to the front, find that second stitch that we skipped, insert your hook from front to back through that single crochet, kind of turn your work, and work that triple crochet. Your cross triple is made. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 single crochet. So find where that last single crochet was worked in right here. Yarn over the hook, go into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next single crochet and work a double crochet. And you can see how the pattern is starting to form. And now we need to make one more double cross stitch, and that's going to be worked in front of the first half of the stitch. So yarn over the hook twice, skip those first 2 single crochet, insert your hook into the next stitch and work that triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice, insert into that next single crochet and work a triple crochet. Your first half of your stitch is complete. So now we're going to work 1 triple crochet, and we're coming in front of our stitches, and we'll be working in this first stitch here that we skipped, and then we're going to work 1 more triple, and we're coming in front of the stitches and working it in the second single crochet that we skipped. So yarn over the hook twice, bring your hook in front of your stitches, and from front to back through that first single crochet that you skipped and work your triple crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to come down, and if you can't see your stitch, you're going to count 2 over, 1, 2, and then follow this stitch down, and it's that horizontal bar right here. You want to go right under this horizontal bar right here, come up to the front, go from front to back under that horizontal stitch and work your triple crochet. And when you get to the end of your work, you should always have 3 single crochet remaining, and you work 1 double crochet in each one of those last 3 single crochet. So yarn over the hook, insert into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that next stitch and work a double crochet. Row 2 is finished, and this is what your work should look like. This one will be going towards the right, this one will be slanted towards the left, and then the next one will be going towards the right and the next one to the left. So that is the first row of our repeat, row 2. So now to do the last row of the repeat, which is a very simple row, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. You're going to skip this beginning chain 1. We're going to insert our hook directly into that first stitch, and you're going to work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, pull it through the stitch, yarn over the hook and pull it through 2 loops. So for this row, we're just working 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Insert into that next stitch, and you want to go under both of those strands of yarn at the top of that stitch. Okay, right there. And just work a single crochet. Insert under the 2 strands of that next stitch, going under both strands, both loops, and work a single crochet. Insert into the next stitch under both strands and work a single crochet. And you're just going to repeat 1 single crochet in each stitch across the row. So go ahead and repeat that. Just work 1 single crochet in each stitch across, and I will meet you at the end of row 3. I'm over at the end of row 3, and I'm over to the turning chain 3 space. So you're just going to go over and just count up 1, 2, 3, or you just go in that first chain right after that's your last actual stitch. So insert into the top of that chain 3 and work your last single crochet across. And that is the end of your repeat row. This is the wrong side. When you turn your work, this is the right side of your work. The even rows are the right side. So that's all there is to it. If you need a little more help with row 2, just click back on the video. But once you do this a couple times, it's really simple to do. It's a really quick and easy design, and it just gives it just a little touch of texture. Like I said, if you're in a hurry to get an afghan made for somebody. So I'm just showing the solid white one again, just so you can kind of see more of the details. I'm starting to think this looks a little bit more pronounced when you're using a solid color. The multicolor was kind of, you couldn't really see the design as well. And then I'll just show you the stripe one more time just to give you an idea what it looks like when you're changing colors. And then here is the one where I changed colors. I started again with the first 3 rows were white, and then I changed colors every 2 rows. And when I finished the piece, I finished with 3 rows of white. Now with this design, you don't need a finishing row. Because this pattern ends on a single crochet row, there's no need to do any special last row to complete this pattern. So that's really nice about this pattern. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this stitch pattern. Just one of those nice, fun TV stitch patterns is what I call them, where you can sit, watch TV, and crochet. I put the link for this stitch pattern right in the description box under the video, so you can just go right up, click on that link. It'll take you right to the Stitch of the Week page, and you can download that right to your computer immediately. So thank you everybody for stopping by this week for Stitch of the Week. I had a lot of fun. I always enjoy doing the Stitch of the Week. So thank you everybody, and until next time, happy crocheting!